Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Our guest today is my friend Chris Vermeulen. He is the founder and chief investment officer at the Technical Trader. Welcome back, Chris.
Hey, always a pleasure, Ivan.
Yeah, huge pleasure having you come down. I wanted to bring you down and talk about everything that's happening in the markets, all the excitement that's happening in precious metals, gold, silver. Let's start off with gold right now. It's been hitting new all-time highs recently. There's a lot of excitement. What are your thoughts on silver for now until the end of 2025?
For silver, let's take sure. Yes, taking a look at silver. Silver and gold both had a nice run up today. Silver's starting to show some volatility in terms of it's got a lot of rallies and pullbacks in the last little bit. It's flirting with the highs that we saw last October. And so it's trying to get through that resistance zone. And silver has the potential to pop and rally to about 36.50, maybe even $37. So percentage wise, it still has some pretty good upside. I like more so gold, simply because I think gold is going to run to about 30, almost $3,300 an ounce. And no matter what, gold tends to want to move higher in this type of market environment. Silver can pull back; it's a lot more volatile. Gold is a much more kind of sure play than silver is. So both of them really have some potential upside over the next little bit as fear continues to creep up. We've got fears of inflation and tariffs and all kinds of uncertainty with equities and so we're seeing precious metals kind of move in as people move money out of the stock market, which is what we've seen the last couple of days with the precipitous sell-off in equities.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see it for gold prices that are moving higher? Do you see it as one factor, many factors? Do you think has to do with the tariffs? Do you think it has to do with the, absurd debt levels and the devaluation of the dollar? And is it global factors? Like, why is gold, making these new all-time highs recently?
Yeah, I think all of it plays into the price of gold. But I always look at gold as the kind of the global barometer of fear. And more or less people around the world, if they have money, they're going to want to move large amounts of money into gold because it's a much more stable investment. As soon as you talk to any investor and you say silver, a big investor who's not obviously a gold bug, they're like, "Oh, silver is way too crazy." But they do,
Right.
all these regular investors do have like gold rounds and coins from a long time ago. They still invest in gold. So gold is kind of that overall barometer of when people in general are scared, they move into this. And I think we have all of the things you just mentioned playing into this. And we're in this market environment where we're in the late stages of the bull market. And I think the market is trying to put in a major top. And right before a recession, we tend to see gold do very well. And that's why gold, I think, is moving up. Everyone around the world is accumulating kind of gold as a defensive play, a store of value. They're not so much looking to make huge returns. They're just like, how do I get my money out of different assets, out of the financial system, and have a store of value physical outside of the banking system? And I think that's one of the reasons we're seeing gold do so well and continue to float higher.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use. So instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you seeing right now? I guess, what is your biggest concern in the markets? A lot of people are saying either bonds or it's either whatever it is, real estate, commercial real estate. Right now, Chris, what do you have your eye on the market? What's concerning you right now?
Yeah, I think what's concerning me is when you look at the big picture of, for example, the SP 500, it hit a major measured move on the chart over the past couple of months. It's been clearly rejected as of April. We've had a very strong down month for the SP 500. And all this the scenario that's happening when if you lift the hood to the markets, we're seeing a lot of money move to different pockets of stocks. It could be utilities and gold. We're seeing, momentum stall out on the long-term charts. And I think the big problem that what fears the biggest fear here is I think the stock market may have put in a major top. And I think we're going to see a bounce in equities. It looks like today, as you and I are recording this, looks like the stock market had an exhaustion gap to the downside. I mean, we had big selling last Friday, and I was telling everybody Monday is going to be a gap down, and we're going to see a big panic washout. And that's exactly what we saw today. We have a big washout, and now the market's rallied back, putting in what looks to be a reversal candle. And I think the markets are primed and ready for a bounce, a significant bounce, but I don't think we're going to all-time highs. And what I'm worried about is if this bounce stalls out, then I think we're going to go into start the next bear market. So I think we are like within a month or two of actually like having this bounce stall and start the real first down leg in the
Really?
next bear market.
Really, yeah, no, that's pretty concerning for the long term.
Mhm.
And now a lot of people have been talking online about, what's going to happen with these tariffs, what's happening with, Canada, with Mexico, globally. Do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing? What are your thoughts on the tariffs?
Yeah, I don't know how to take it really. I mean,
How does it affect the markets then?
yeah, well, it throws a lot of and uncertainty into the markets. We obviously we hear talks of tariffs, and then suddenly things rally, and then the next day they sell off. So it adds volatility. It makes things more risky, more unstable. Um, this whole thing of tariffs, there's this huge feeding frenzy of people buying cars and all kinds of stuff before the tariffs kick in. So it's creating this surge of buying, and yet we're seeing consumer spending go down. We just saw that last week. We saw um, retail sector got hit pretty hard. We saw consumer discretionary, which is more so luxury products. That sector got hit hard. So we have this big, really bunch of mixed signals where there is people buying a bunch of stuff, trying to front run and get into things before the tariffs hit. But then really consumer spending is slowing down. We got earning seasons just around the corner. And if we start seeing downgrades and we start seeing these earnings not being met, I think that's going to be one of those economic indicators going to be like, listen, things are actually starting to slow down now. Tariffs are going to make it even worse because now everything's going to be 20% more expensive. And if things go up in price, typically you sell less of it. So I think the next month or so is going to be a pretty major turning point for the markets because I think economic data is going to start to become a little more sour and help more or less pull the markets lower with fearful selling.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Absolutely. Now, I know we've spoken about this before, but for all of our new members and the new subscribers, and a big amount of the new members who are coming into this channel, I guess explain them what you guys do at Technical Traders and why did you write Asset Revesting? Why did you write that book?
Yeah, so at Technical Traders, we focus pure technical analysis. So we follow price, we follow momentum and intermarket analysis, which tells us if one asset's doing this, money's always flowing from one asset class to another.
Right.
And depending where the money's flowing and how much is flowing tells us what the general masses are doing and what kind of feeling they have. Are they fearful? Are they going defensive? Are they risk on? And so I wrote the book Asset Revesting because it's all about reinvesting our capital into an asset that is going up. And so if the stock market is going down, we want to move our money to something that is going up, which
Right.
could be gold, it could be the dollar index, it could be bonds, it could be whatever is moving in favor at that time. So I wrote the book because I believe we're coming to a massive financial crisis. And either you're going to get absolutely slaughtered when the stock market cracks 30, 40, 50 plus percent over the next year or so, or you can actually take advantage of it and have your gunpowder dry and make money during a financial reset and then reinvest all that capital at the beginning of a new bull market in the stocks that you really want to love. When they're more or less at bargain rock bottom prices, dividends will be high. So I wrote the book to try to see how many people I can protect from losing their life savings, losing their retirement, having to downgrade all of that because the market is great at one thing, hurting the most people at the worst possible time. And we
Right.
have the most people close or retired right now than ever. And a financial reset of losing half your wealth is definitely not something retirees want to go through.
No, absolutely. Now, where can people, before you head off, where can people connect with you? I'd love for everyone to connect with you on social media. What's the best place for them to connect with you?
Yeah, the best spot really is to go to The Technical Traders on YouTube or go to my website, thetechnicaltraders.com. Free newsletter on both of them. There'll be a link there so you can follow my analysis. YouTube, you can watch some of my analysis and get right up to speed of how the markets move each day, be primed and ready to take advantage of the kind of weekly gyrations and the long-term investment strategies that we deploy.
Yeah, no, it's a huge pleasure having you come down to Wall Street Bullion, Chris. As always, thank you so much. Everyone watching, I highly recommend you go check out Chris, go check out thetechnicaltraders.com. And as always, Chris, like it's been years that you've been on this channel, and gold keeps moving up and up, and a lot of the times we dig really deep into it, and the calls that you've made have been really valuable. But yeah, please give us more of your time in the future as the markets develop, and would love to have you back on.
Sounds great. Take care, Ivan.
Talk to you soon.